Hello there YouTube viewers, and welcome back to another edition of Health Matters. Last week I introduced you to the sepia technique, a technique that I developed that clears the lymphatic system, and it's a massage technique that rids your body of stored toxins that will make you feel re-energized and reverse the problems that it causes, improving your quality of life. Now this technique will need to be done regularly in order to clear the lymphatic system, and you will know when it's clear because you will feel so much better. And when you do, please don't keep this technique to yourself, pass it on to others so that they can benefit as well. Now I'm going to continue on with the postural problems as we were looking at the feet, and I'm going to continue on with them, but I must just remind you, take a moment just to remind you of the correct stance that is so important. The feet must be heel-toe facing forwards. Okay, when a tree grows, you plant in the roots firmly in the floor and it grows nice and tall and straight. If you don't correct the roots and they are put in at an angle, they will grow at the angle. The trouble is it grows, and as it grows, it wants to come skyward. And that's exactly the same as the body. If our feet are malfunctioning and they're not even and not posturally correct, we are moving our bodies in a way that we are trying to keep level with gravity towards skyward. So it could be that we're altering our hip or our spine or even our neck or our head movement in order to make sure that we are against gravity, that 90 degrees we were speaking about a couple of weeks ago. So it's important that we maintain good posture from the feet. Now in my experience in clinic, I look at a lot of problems, but the main problem I get faced with is a collapsed arch. Now the collapsed arch can become because of damage to the actual muscle that goes between the arch, or that it's overstretched. Now if it is overstretched and the arch drops, it can cause a couple of things. On the front here is known as the ball. It can cause a thing called metatarsalgia. On the back here, it can cause either heel spur or bursitis. So either one of those is due to the fact that the arch has dropped. So what causes an arch to be dropped? Well, it can be due to ill-fitting shoes. A lot of the school children today wear these very flat shoes that they slop in, and you can hear them actually slopping along the floor because they don't have any major support for them, whilst the fellas have these trainers which don't tie up. So again, they're loose and their feet are flopping around and they're not gripping the shoes as they normally would. And walking on bare feet also means that you don't have to grip with your feet, so your feet are allowed to splay out. Okay, that's one cause of it. The second one, unfortunately, is increase in weight, ladies and gentlemen. If you have that much on there and then you have weight on top, that's fine. If you pile the weight on, this poor foot is going to do this because that's all it can do. And as it does so, it will tear the muscle from its attachments, causing you things like metatarsalgia and the heel spur we spoke of. All right. So how do we know if our arch is dropped or not? Well, it's very simple. You can do a simple test. Sprinkle some talcum powder on the floor and then take your shoes and socks off and just stand in the talcum powder and then carefully lift your feet off of them, and it will leave an imprint. If you've got a nice flat imprint on there, the chances are you've either got flat feet or your arch has dropped. If you have natural flat feet, you won't get any of the signs and symptoms we were talking about. But if you are getting the signs and symptoms, it means that your arches have dropped. and that's the reason. You should have a nice imprint with the piece missing in the middle. If that piece is missing, your arch is raised, no problem. Okay, so have a look, have a go. Now, what problems do we get from having our feet? Well, there's lots of things. If you are posturally walking wrong, there could be reasons such as having a corn or a callus or a bunion. Even having long toenails can cause you to walk wrongly and alter your position of your gait, meaning how you walk. Okay? So have a look at those things and get rid of them. Cut your toenails, get rid of corns and calluses, and do something about the bunions. Have a word with your GP and see what can be done, because that's altering the way you walk. And as I explained earlier, if you've got that tree going up wrong, it's going to affect you all the way up. Could be your hips, could be your knees, could be your ankles, could be even further up, could be the spine or the neck. Okay, so have a look and see. Tend to your feet. How many of us get up in the morning, the first thing we do is just put socks on? Our poor feet don't even get a look in sometimes. Now, there's other problems that can affect the feet, and these are such things as athlete's foot, cramp in the toes, warts, verrucas, and symptoms of gout. Not the actual gout itself, because that's diagnosed by a blood test, but the symptoms of gout, i.e. pain in the big toe, and things like fungal nails. Now, all of these, believe it or not, are best dealt with by the sepia technique, because they're all viruses. And as I explained last week, if you have a lymphatic system that's blocked, it affects two things: immunity and our waste disposal. And immunity is part of the things which is what virus is being killed. So if it can't kill that, it's not functioning right. Okay? So make sure that you use the sepia technique to unblock, and it will kill the viruses. They're the minor symptoms I was talking about. Have a look on the website again. It's on there. It's www.thesepiatechnique.com. Go on there and it will show you the signs and symptoms on the sepia technique click. All right? And you will find on there verrucas and athlete's foot as being just a couple of the minor symptoms that it can cause. Do take care of your feet. Have a look at them, and have a look at your shoes. Okay, make sure that the wear is even. Okay, it should be on the heel, and it should be even over the ball of the foot, not down the outside or the middle. Look at the wear and tear. Also, look at both shoes, because if you've had a problem with one foot, for instance a sprain, or you've broken your ankle, you may have mended wrongly, or your ligaments or muscles may be that damaged that they've knitted together and they're shortened. That stops the range of movement, and so you're walking wrongly with just one foot. Have a look at them and see. It's your body, it's your problem. You must sort it, and the only way of doing it is by checking it out. Next week we're going to be talking about ankles and the problems that can occur with that. Postural problems as well, because don't forget, we're still growing. All right, keeping it nice and straight. So till next time, take care, and I will see you then. Bye for now.